Have you ever had a problem that you didn't realize already had a really great solution? Like, I was walking through our neighborhood the other day. It's like right after a freezing rain, so the ground was super slick. Well, I kind of came to find out that you can get these little ice cleats for the bottom of your shoes, and then those will help you like get a good grip in the winter. One of the problems I've been having is recording videos in my office at home, and I just try to get my camera into these tight spaces, and that's really tough because I don't really have the right equipment for it. My regular tripod is just way too big, and the other options I have is like cardboard boxes, and I don't really have the right equipment for like going out and doing this kind of vlogging type stuff, not until just a little while ago. I got this super cheap GorillaPod knockoff from Facebook Marketplace, and it is just not very good. It is super flimsy, not nearly enough strength to hold up a camera with a good lens on it. And plus, it's just a pain to set up. I mean, it's stiff because of whatever actual strength it does have, but trying to get it set up and level and get everything straight the way you want it to be, like, it's just really not worth the hassle it brings. So I've been using boxes from my wife's bakery to set up my shots. That works kind of all right, but it's still not very portable. It's not something that I can, take with me and put a camera on this and vlog with it or anything like that. So it really limits me when I'm out and about. Now, the usual recommendation for a problem like this is a Joby GorillaPod, but it really still has some of the same limitations that my super cheap Facebook tripod has. It's really hard to set up. And it's just way too easy to knock over too. I mean, just look at some of Casey Neistat's vlogs for examples of that. Now, in defense of the GorillaPod, that's not really what it's designed for, right? Not for vlogging. It's really designed to wrap speed lights and cameras around poles, tree branches, that kind of thing. It's just something that vloggers found and adopted for the purpose. It's not purpose-built for vloggers. Now, especially since vlogging got big, maybe 5-10 years ago, maybe about 10 years ago, a lot of vloggers have really been feeling this pain, not having the right equipment for what they're trying to do. This is a problem that Pat Flynn and Caleb Wojcik really took notice of. Together, they created a product they called SwitchPod. It's named that because it's really easy to take it from a tabletop stance like this, swing the legs around, and it becomes a handheld grip where you can point your camera at your face. So the way I got this SwitchPod is that I follow Caleb Wojcik on Instagram, and he reposted from the main SwitchPod Instagram account, and they were actually running a giveaway. It's actually a really cool giveaway because they were giving away 10 of these tripods, and the way you entered that giveaway in particular was to take a picture or a video of your current setup. For me, it was the crap pod, as I call it, and explain in the video or the caption why you need a SwitchPod. I put together a short video with my struggles that I've been having with being able to record myself here in the office and not being able to record pretty much anywhere else because I don't have something portable to take with me. And I won one of them, which is this one, and I'm pretty happy about that. I don't really win stuff on Instagram, really. It is designed for vlogging. It's not just something adapted for the purpose, and that really shows in the overall design and in the details of the SwitchPod. I mean, admit it, for vlogging, you don't really need to wrap your camera around a tree or a pole all that often, so you don't need those bendy legs of the GorillaPod. It's just not necessary at all, and it's those legs that really take a lot of time to set up. Each leg swivels around a central stem, and each of those legs have a stop on it, so you know exactly where to put each leg. You don't have to guess about the proper equidistant balance of the legs. It just goes right where it needs to go. The swivel part here lets you pull the legs together quickly and easily to create a nice firm hand grip. And I really like this grip because it's not too thick across, like I can get a good grip on it. And it's got these ridges right here for your fingers to hold right onto it. I mean, if you were like gripping this super hard for hours on end, then maybe your arm would get tired or something, fingers get tired. But if you're just holding this, like, going around vlogging for a little bit of time, this is like extremely comfortable hand grip. And one of the nice little details that Caleb and Pat put into this is these legs have little magnets inside of them. When you pull these apart and put them back together, you can feel these magnets snap into place. So if you're like holding this or whatever, you don't have to worry about one of these legs coming apart and then coming back, like pinching your hand or something like that. I mean, that would be pretty much a bummer. So to attach a camera to a SwitchPod is, kind of like attaching a camera to any tripod or tripod plate.
You've got to line up the screw with the screw receiver here in the camera, and then you crank this dial underneath to screw it in. I mean, you could twist it around a little bit for some of the turns if that's easier for you. But what you want to make sure of is make sure that the camera's pointed towards the direction of the handle so that when you're filming yourself, like it's pointed towards you. And you can actually get a pretty decent grip. Like sometimes it's kind of hard to turn this dial, especially when it's tight. It's kind of hard to get a little bit of a grip on it. You can line up your camera just straight the way you want it. And there you go. You can film with it like that. I would recommend taking the lens cap off if you're filming yourself. I have a bad habit of leaving the lens cap on and then trying to take a picture or a video and then realizing I can't. So then the same thing, obviously, to take it off, just turn this counterclockwise to the left. I think of it as to the left anyway.
One small detail that I really love about the SwitchPod is that 2 of the legs have these 1/4" 20 holes in them, so you can use little screw adapters, and then you can mount microphones on there. You can mount pretty much anything because those are pretty universal adapters to put whatever you need to on there. I'm using a male-to-male screw adapter kit to mount a microphone onto the side of my SwitchPod. It's a super handy kit just to have, so if you're interested, I'll link that down in the description below and you can check it out. I also got the SwitchPod ball head. You can use any ball head that you want on it. It's pretty universal, but I just like getting the SwitchPod one because I really enjoy that branding synergy between the 2 of them.
This is pretty nice. It's got a pretty weighty feel to it. I don't know that it's like necessarily all metal construction because I didn't look it up, but I mean, it feels pretty heavy. Like it feels like it's really good construction. I trust this a lot. When you're trying to move and adjust the camera, like this is nice and smooth. Like there's really, you can put it any direction you want, including portrait mode there. It's got a little cutout notch for that. But when you crank it tight, it stays in place. Like you can trust it. And I trust it to kind of, whatever angle I've got it at to stay there. I just got this combo, so I'm looking forward to using it to set up shots kind of here in my office for tight spaces.
And for having a good handheld tripod that I can use in the field when I'm out recording videos or making photos. I know that I'll be able to use this a lot at home too for making videos, obviously, but also taking photos for my wife's bakery and just some like really complicated self-portraits I like to do sometimes. The SwitchPod is a solution that I need to do all of these goals and projects that I want to do. So I'm really glad that I was able to win one and just to have it for having a good tool. So if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. That's an encouragement for me to keep making these videos, and I hope that it's been helpful for you.